Yo, what is up guys, Stark here, and today I'm going to be bringing you a new type of video, like my Blackbeard video. It's going to basically be me talking about stuff, and I made a new playlist for this. It's called Talking OPTC, and basically what I'm going to be doing for this playlist is I'm going to be making videos where I'm not really playing the game too much, but I'm more talking about the game itself. So I don't know, it's just a little bit different, and that's gonna have things like when news comes out on global. And speaking of news, apparently we are getting the Save Ace events for global. Now I'm not gonna talk too much about that because it hasn't been officially announced, and I don't really want to make videos for things that are just rumors or like time skip stuff. So I will wait for the official announcement before I go into any more details about that. But it does look pretty legit that we are going to be getting those events. But what I'm going to be talking about today is the new Marineford Part 2 here, the Oris Plaza event. Now that is a new story island, it just got released. So for this video, I'm actually going to be playing that while I talk about everything else in this video. But most of the talking OPTC videos are just going to be me talking with maybe something in the background. I don't really know what I'm going to be doing with that. But it's going to be like the Blackbeard video where I just talk about the Blackbeard units and, you know, like rank the Sugofest units as they come out. You know, news, story islands, you know, maybe I'll do some rankings. I don't really like rankings because I don't really have too much of an opinion about things. Like, you know, something will get released on global and my typical reaction is just, oh, cool, you know, that's something new. I don't really get overly excited about stuff, and I don't really get overly upset about stuff. So ranking videos and like personal opinion videos I've been trying to stay away from because I just don't feel like I have much of an input on those type of things. Like I can't really contribute too much to it, but I am gonna try, you know, make more content for you guys to watch. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about this and maybe some potential videos I could make for this playlist itself. Now I'm going to be running through Marineford here. This is going to be the first time I'm doing it. I haven't done it. And this is about the time in Japan where I kind of just stopped paying attention to the game in general. So I don't really know too much about like the stages, what you have to do, you know, like any sort of like special features in each stage or anything like that. So I'm pretty much going into this blind. Now I am going to be talking about the units and my personal opinion about them, but I'll get into that a little bit. Let me just go ahead and make a quick team here. So let's see, Lucci. I do need to finish getting those Lucci sockets before it goes away. Let's throw. Do I want to take Golden Brown? I'll take Golden Brown, and if we need Breed, we can get Breed later. So let's jump right into it here. And like I said, originally I wanted to just do me talking about the units and then me doing like the story missions all together. But if I do that, it's gonna take, the video is gonna be so long. So I think what would be better is if I just start talking and then play through the story missions. So I don't know, I think that would be better so the video is not like super long, but we'll see how it goes. I might cut out like the fodder unit stages and stuff like that and just clip into the actual boss stages. Okay, here we go. Finally got connected to the game here. So we're gonna go in with a Sengoku team. Like I said, I really don't know pretty much anything about these story missions. So hopefully they're not too difficult. And honestly, pretty much all of the story mode characters that you can get on this story island are pretty good in my opinion. You do get, I believe you get 5 gems for beating it, which is, you know, pretty standard for One Piece. I did think maybe you'd get 10 because usually for like the 2-part islands you get 10 gems for one of them, and this is kind of like a big part in the story. So I thought maybe you get 10, but I guess not. But that's fine. That's fine. You do get extra gems in the actual story missions itself. But like I said, I want to talk about the units in the story island here, so we're gonna go ahead and get started on that. I'm gonna kind of rank them since I haven't actually like used them or seen them or anything like that. It's gonna be kind of difficult, and the ranking might be a little off, but just looking at the units and seeing what they do, it's gonna be like my first impression. Okay, so we still do have 20 turns here, but basically, first up on the list here, and the unit I rank first is gonna be the worst unit in the story island, so just keep that in mind. So we're gonna have the John Giant here, and he is going to boost the HP of slasher characters by 1.5, which isn't a whole lot. He is basically like your slightly better than fodder unit that drops. Like, it is worth mentioning because he's kind of a significant, not like a significant character, but he's kind of like I was saying, you know, a little bit more than fodder. But he does have that low drop chance, so he is counted in that pool. And for his special, he reduces damage received in the next turn by 50% if the special was used when he has less than 50% HP. Which, it's okay, I guess. I mean, he doesn't have that much, like, his stats aren't really that good. I think he has like 700 max attack. So, I really don't think this guy's going to be seeing much play here. And, yo, if we can get a drop, like, in the middle of this video, that would be pretty cool. But it doesn't seem like this guy does anything. Shouldn't be too hard to kill him. I am going to farm all the story mode characters as I usually do. I do have to go back and finish part 1, but since part 2 has a week-long event of double drop rate, I'm just going to go ahead and try my best to get them all before it goes away. And we did complete stage 1 there. I don't know how many stages it is, so I probably won't finish the entire island in this video, because this is more about talking about the units than actually doing the fight. But we'll see what happens here. So the next unit on my ranking here is going to be Garp. And I do think it's cool that they have a story mode Garp, but I just kind of wish he did a little bit more. Now, there is a rare recruit Garp that comes out with the Akainu badge, which kind of makes up for the story mode Garp not being so good. But I did wish the story mode Garp was a little bit better, considering the fact that pretty much all the other units after him are really good, in my opinion at least. So I was a little disappointed with that, but instead of me talking about it, I might as well go ahead and tell you what he does. So for his captain effect here, he will boost the attack of fighter characters by 2.25, and he will reduce the damage by 10%. And that seems okay, but when you look at the other captains after him, they're pretty much, I think they're all 2.5 captains for different classes. So I don't really see why they couldn't have just given Garp that 2.5 for fighter characters. Like, I just really don't see what they were thinking there. But maybe because he has that damage reduction, maybe that's why they didn't give him that 2.5, but I don't know. I don't really think you're going to be using him too much. And his special is pretty interesting. He'll deal 25 times his attack and strength damage to one enemy, and that will ignore defensive buffs. So it's kind of like Blackbeard's special, or Captain Effect rather, where he'll just ignore defensive barriers. But again, you know, unless there's something like really tricky that you really need to get past that barrier for some reason, I really don't see Garp getting too much play. And he does have 1,000 attack, so it's not too bad, but for a Garp character, like, I just don't think he's really worth it. He could have been better, but and his cooldown starts at 25 turns. I guess that's probably gonna max at like 20 turns, but I don't know. It's just a little bit underwhelming. So we're gonna move on here to the next unit, and this guy's gonna blind me. Lovely. So the next unit is Kizaru. He is actually a unit from part 1, but he does show up in part 2, so I'm including him in the list. But he will boost the attack of shooter characters by 2.5 times. So with Zephyr currently being out of global, it's actually a really good unit to farm, giving him the 2.5 attack boost. Are these great shields? I think these are great shields. This is kind of difficult when I'm blinded. And for Kizaru's special, he's going to change block orbs on shooter characters into matching orbs. I should need to focus here. So that alone is pretty good, and then he will deal large dex damage to all enemies. So I definitely look at Kizaru and see, like, it's not amazing compared to like his raid boss and his legend form, but it's definitely pretty solid if you don't have either of them. Oh, it's gonna be so hard to do. Maybe not. So I would definitely recommend farming Kizaru. Out of all the units I said so far in this video, Kizaru is definitely the first one I would suggest farming, especially if you don't have Zephyr. If you don't have Zephyr, like, I would say, like, you have to farm this guy. His captain effect is very good, and his special is pretty good too. It does start at 22 turns, but I figure with skill books it might drop down to like 17 or 16, which is right in that area of Ace's special, which you're going to use on shooters anyway. So usually having a shooter with like a 17 or 18 or 16 turn cooldown is where you want it to be. So next up on the list here is going to be Sengoku, and it's pretty cool, you know, the Sengoku. You know, if you have the legend, obviously you're going to want to use him, but the story mode Sengoku is pretty cool. And Japan does have a Fortnite for Sengoku, so that's pretty cool. You can use it to socket. His stats aren't really that good, and he does have a 30 cost. Not that you can use him on a Sengoku team, but it just seems a little odd. But his captain ability will boost the attack of cerebral characters by 2.5 times, which is pretty good. You know, any of those 2.5 captain boosters are always worth getting, in my opinion. And his special will reduce the cooldowns of all specials by 1 turn, and then he's going to boost the attack of all characters by 1.2 and amplify the effect of orbs by 1.2 for 1 turn. So that, you know, he gives you a pretty good all-around stat boost there with the attack boost and the orb boost, but because it's 1.2 for 1 turn, it's not really that good. There's a lot of alternate options, and his stats aren't really the best. Even though he does give you that 2.5 boost, it's, you know, it's just not the best out there with his stats. But I could see him using some play. He does have a 19 turns cooldown on his special, but like I said, that's probably going to go down to like maybe 13, 12 turns, so it's definitely usable. And moving on here, these next two, last two are definitely amazing units. I would strongly recommend farming both of them if you have the time and the ability to do so. And for second on the list, we have Aokiji here, and in my opinion, he's really good. He's got 1152 attack, which isn't amazing, but it's not awful. And like, he's a side slasher, and for global there's not too many side slashers that are really good. So, you know, getting him, he'll definitely add, you know, like a good variety to your side slashers, unless you have Kizaru. If you have like Kizaru or Law or like a legend slasher, you're good to go. But if not, you know, maybe Aokiji is a pretty good one to get, and he is, obviously, he's farmable, so, you know, I definitely recommend getting this guy. And I haven't even told you what he does yet. Like, his stats alone and the fact that he's a side slasher are already good enough. But for his captain effect, he will boost the attack of side characters by 2.5. So again, we have another 2.5 booster here. And he's for side characters, which is pretty interesting. But, you know, if you need a side captain, there you go, right there. You have one right at your disposal with Aokiji. And then his special is really good, and this is why I think he's number 2 on the list. And that's because he's going to deal 10,000 fixed damage to all enemies, but the more important thing is he's going to lock all of your orbs for 1 turn. So that gives slashers a orb blocker, and I believe he is the only slasher orb blocker currently. So having him is definitely going to help benefit your slasher teams greatly, with, you know, using Dofi to boost the orbs and then using Aokiji to lock the orbs. So I could definitely see him getting a lot of play in slasher teams. It'd be so cool if I can get him to drop right here as I'm talking about him. What's he do here? Oh, he's gonna lock. Oh, wow. I'm glad that was Usopp. I wonder if it's random or if he just always does that one. Alright, what's he gonna do now? Is he gonna lock another unit? Ooh, man. Thankfully he's dead. Drop. Ah, nothing. That would have been cool. So finally, number 1 on the list, we have Akainu himself. Now this is going to be the first Akainu on Global. I don't think he was the first one on Japan, but I could be wrong about that. But he's really good. He's got 1381 attack for a free to play unit, a story mode character unit. That's really good. He does have 30 cost. And his captain effect is going to boost the attack of driven characters by 2.5. So you have your free-to-play driven captain. And then for his special, he's going to deal 35 times the character's attack and int damage to one enemy. And boost the attack of driven characters by 1.5 for one turn. So right there you have a free-to-play driven captain and a free-to-play driven booster. So that is just really good. He's got pretty good HP and he's got really good attack, so I would definitely recommend farming him. And that is the list for all the units. I don't think I missed any. You can get Kobe, the training Kobe, the Fortnite Kobe, to drop. I didn't rank him because, you know, everyone should have Kobe at this point, and it's not, I mean, if you need that Kobe and you need him to farm him, like, you should just wait for the Fortnite to come back. You're better off. Probably get it faster that way. But that is going to end the ranking there. I did go through all the units, and I don't really want to keep going through the story island here. I'm on stage 4, so if I continue going through it, it'll probably take me like 30 minutes to actually beat it. I will do it off screen, and I guess I'll record it, and if I like get a drop or something, I'll put it on a video. But that's going to be all for this video. You know, let me know what you guys think about these type of videos. Maybe what something else I can do in the future, like a different type of video, something like this. I did change the thumbnails for these videos. Let me know what you think about those. Do you prefer the new one? Do you prefer the old one? You know, do you prefer the style that the video is formatted in? It's gonna take a couple tries to get it perfectly, you know, the way I like it, but you know, I'm not the best at using Photoshop, so I definitely have a lot of room for improvement, and your comments will help me make it better. So just let me know what you guys think about pretty much everything involved with this video, with this playlist, and I'll try and, you know, listen to what you guys say, fix it up for next time, and, you know, I'll see you guys next time.